This podcast is for you. Your co-hosts, Ben Dodge and Eric Huso at Effect Epic Consulting, believe that your potential is limitless. Tapping into this potential is how you can affect epic results in your life, relationships, and business. Welcome to the Principles of Epic Growth.
Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
It's a beautiful day.
It is. It's finally getting a little colder outside. People say that's a good thing, but it's not.
Not for cyclists, it's not.
No, let's keep the heat.
It's crazy. There's one good month, October. Too hot before, too cold after.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I'm grateful for every month.
Yeah, I think you might have set me up for that one. I am too. Yeah.
So look, today this one's another podcast by request, and the request is to break down gratitude, and specifically the power that gratitude has, and kind of in a way that we're a little bit known for doing, right? A little bit in your face, and here's gratitude. Here's probably where you're falling short, that kind of stuff, and how you can have more gratitude in your life. And I already hate how I said that because I do not think gratitude is a noun. It's not something that you can just have. It's not something that you can just possess. If so, then that's a super low base level version of gratitude, and I refuse. You should live a higher level of this principle.
And we're not going to talk about gratitude like we're in a Sunday school lesson today. We're going to talk about gratitude in the context of our podcast of Principles of Epic Growth. Like, how can gratitude be a force for growth for you? How can gratitude be a force for performance for you? How can it make a difference in your relationships? How can it make a difference in your business, in your home? Like, this isn't a Sunday school lesson, even though we may make one or two references to Sunday school-esque type things. But the intention of this is to help you incorporate gratitude into your personal and professional life, to use it as a lever to improve performance.
Yeah, so gratitude is a principle of power. It is. And the power of gratitude is incredible. And so understanding it and using it intentionally in your life is by all means the way we want to go with this. Yeah.
It really, gratitude accentuates every other principle we've talked about. It's a power boost. It just raises the level of every other principle that we've talked about. So if you're a person who's committed and not grateful, then your possibilities are diminished. If you're a person that's committed and grateful, you just opened up a whole new world of possibilities. If you're a person that's accountable but not grateful, then you're going to limit the amount of feedback that you get. If you're a person that's accountable and grateful, you just opened up all kinds of possibilities to receive feedback from your peers, from anybody that you deal with on a regular basis. So literally, gratitude will take what you are and will accentuate everything else that you are.
Yeah, totally love it. So look, gratitude has Latin root.
Teach me.
Yeah.
Teach me Latino.
Gratus. Or gratis. I'm thinking it's gratus. Like, I'm no Latin guy, but I'm thinking it's not gratis. Like grassy ass, right? It's gratis. I mean, gratus, sorry. Anyways, it's Latin.
Dude, I just got a flashback to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah. Socrates.
Yeah, German is more my thing, not Spanish. So yeah, anyways, a Latin background. Gratus is probably how it's pronounced, but it's pleasing or thankful is what that meaning is, pleasing or thankful. But if you just look up like any old dictionary and you Google gratitude, like the top of the list, this is what comes out, and it's worth spending a minute on because I think it's totally wrong. But so here we go.
You gonna offend some people?
The way to go, Google, for screwing up gratitude, or at least only put it out there as such a base level thing that you're missing the whole point. And note the contradiction here, because first thing, noun, gratitude, noun. So I already have a problem. Like, real gratitude is demonstrated. It's not a noun, it's a verb. But note the contradictions here. After it says noun, it says the quality of being thankful. So they're getting a little better now. That sounds more like
it's
a verb.
It's a way of being.
Yeah. And yet Google says it's a noun. So the quality of being thankful, the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. So I'm okay with most of this. But it's funny how they say it's a noun, and yet both versions of their definitions have verb-like action associated with it, right? And that's more where I feel we need to be. If you can possess gratitude, good for you, yippee, let's throw a parade, I guess. Like you can have the noun definition, like, in your thing, in your wheelhouse, so to speak. But being a grateful person, that's where the power is. Okay, anyone can force themselves to sit down and write a list of things that they're grateful for. That doesn't make you a grateful person. It doesn't make your way of being a grateful person. In fact, take somebody who is absolutely horrible in your life, some ornery, crotchety old person that you just, you think just probably not the world of, right? I bet you that person can sit down and write a list of things that they're grateful for, but you would never describe them as a grateful person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this gratitude, this thankful heart, so to speak, it's, I guess you can possess gratitude on some base level of something that you're thankful for, and you could probably reduce that to writing on a list if forced, but it doesn't.
Yeah, the whole idea of making a gratitude journal, which is quite popular, because the research is clear. When you're grateful, you're more happy. When you're grateful, you're more successful. You look up all the social research. That's just stating the obvious. And so the go-to is, hey, make a gratitude journal. Like, put a journal next to your bed and every day write 10 things that you're grateful for. That is not the end. And that's where people might get tripped up. It's the means to the end. It's just a way of waking you up to, hey, there's lots of things in this world that you can be grateful for. But if it's not a way of being, if it's not your natural expression of who you are, then it's going to fall flat. It's going to end at the journal. It's not going to be expressed in your daily demonstration of action.
Yeah, and so that's one of the huge points about every podcast that we do, is that these principles are something that can become a part of you. This is something that can become a part of your very fabric. It's a principle of power that you can harness. It's something that you can use to be a better person. You can be better today than you were yesterday. Your business can grow more today than it did yesterday, because just like gravity, it exists. You cannot like it if you don't want to, but it's there. So these principles to us are just there. They're essentially like eternal. They just exist, like integrity, like commitment, and so on and so on. And so today, like gratitude. So harness the power of gratitude. And like Eric was saying, like I love, I guess, the world's version of this. I just feel like we're all living far beneath our privileges when it comes to these principles, and that applies today as well with gratitude, in the sense that, hey, good for you that you can like write down what you're grateful for. But that's just a huge start is all. And it is a huge start. That's great. Because most people don't do that. So good,
Yeah, don't end there though.
Yeah. And the real effect of that, and I like the word that you use, the real effect of that is that you're waking yourself up. So you're going to start harnessing your focus onto things that you're grateful for. That's going to start helping you slowly become a grateful person, because you're going to start waking up to what you're grateful for. So I think in step one, and note that this is step one, is in the principle of gratitude, you should be awake to what you're grateful for. And if you can't come up with a list, like, call us on the side. You've got some issues and we'll help you with those.
Call Ben.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. And the higher level of this is to end up going through such a hard, challenging part of your life and still be a grateful person. Not just write down things you're grateful for, but to actually be experienced by others as a grateful person in the midst of something that's super challenging and trying for you. That's the power of gratitude, and you want to harness that for yourself. So step one is you have to at least, of course, wake up. And so, okay, great. Let's write down the things that we're grateful for. If that's a journal for you, if that's a notepad that you keep, at work, and the first thing you do is write down your, a few things that you're grateful for that day. I think that's an awesome thing, and I don't think anyone's going to think ill of you for it. But just know that that's like just a start is all. There's a lot more to it.
Beautiful. You mentioned a couple things I want to hit on. So ingratitude is evidence of a fixed mindset. That's what I took from you. The ingratitude is evidence of a fixed mindset, like this woe is me mindset. There's nothing that I can do about it. And gratitude is the seedbed for the growth mindset. So for more detail on this distinction between fixed mindset and growth mindset, we did a podcast, one of our most popular podcasts on growth mindset.
That's right.
You
Check
can
it out.
you can listen to that for a little more detail on what we're talking about in that distinction between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. But the growth mindset lets you work in the world and operate in the world with unlimited possibilities. Like there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that would stop you from attempting to do anything. Like that's the growth mindset. And the fixed mindset is, oh no, I'm not good enough, or no, these limitations, I couldn't do that, and this is getting it just puts up barriers. And when you have gratitude, it's evidence of being grateful for any and every circumstance that you're facing. It's evidence that there's a world of possibilities out there for you it's unlimited.
Yeah. So why would we ever want limits? We would.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah. No, we wouldn't. Yeah.
No, because I
don't get that.
You're on a different level than me in terms of
I don't understand.
your fearlessness. For me, I put limits on myself, and it's all based in fear. And so I'll put limits on myself so I feel protected and safe. That's why. So you build your little safety nest. That's why you put limits on yourself, to overcome fear and to make yourself feel safe. And the reality is when you are grateful and when you can see beyond what you're currently looking at, like you recognize that, wow, when I've built this little safety nest, it's really restricting. I'm restricting my growth. I'm restricting my happiness. I'm restricting my possibilities. I need to get some wings, and I need to fly out of this safety nest, or I need to bust out of this little cocoon that I put myself in to protect myself. So that's just from personal experience. To answer your question, why would anybody want to limit their possibilities? It's to protect themselves from that big bad beast called fear.
So for those of you not in the room, I have this blank face right now.
Yes, he does. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Yeah, this hasn't crossed your mind. You don't operate from a position of fear. You don't operate from that position. I am a person that used to operate frequently from that position, so I can speak to that.
Yeah, no, I actually really appreciate you sharing that, and it's probably a great topic for another podcast. But
yeah.
But I have a hard time comprehending that sometimes. The reason why someone would want to. I mean, I get that limits are set every day, and that we put them on ourselves all the time. But that's to me, it's like taking a wild animal and asking them if they want to be in a cage. Just like what wild animal would say yes? I mean, like, they free me, baby. Like, let's do this. Even those born in captivity often like yearn to and they don't know any different, and they yearn to just be gone, But yeah, people on this earth, human beings, we have this incredible potential, and to not tap into it, to not want to tap into it, is a hard concept for me to understand. It's like limitless possibilities. It's like the Kennedy back in the day. We're going to put a man on the moon. I mean, like that feeling like seeped into everybody, not just President Kennedy, And yeah, I'm not some Kennedy fan, by the way. I know very little about him, really, in a lot of ways. But I do know that famous speech, and it's incredible. And yeah, anyways, like, why wouldn't we want to tap into that incredible? I mean, we didn't even have the technology at the time to do it, and we failed, and people died along the way. And yet, we eventually put a man on the moon as a country, because everyone stood behind that vision, and it influenced and infected everyone. And the limits that were currently there were shattered, right? Like, no way. Like, we're going to space, and we're going to actually put somebody's foot on the moon. And then, Neil Armstrong did it. But to me, that everything can be that way. It's not a one-time feeling. It's your employment, your relationships with your friends, your relationships with your family, your hobbies. Everything can be limitless. And the way gratitude will tie in that today, because I think a lot of things affect that kind of a mindset. A lot of things affect it. but one of the key ingredients is gratitude, and that is to be absolutely a person so grateful for what you have, and more importantly, grateful for what you perceive opportunities are, that you reach for the stars.
Yeah.
So
that gratitude is, like you said, the fuel for that growth mindset, to see these possibilities, to be able to reach for the stars.
Yeah, so I've visited some foreign countries, quite a few, and recently, in fact, I went with you once recently here to Norway, and
yes,
I love Norway.
Great food, pastries.
Yes,
and goat head.
No, the sheep head is terrible. Don't eat it. But the interesting thing that I felt in some of these foreign countries is an overwhelming sense of limitation. So my wife and other people that we're traveling with, were ready to move there. They were just ready, like, let's do this. And in my mind, I felt this overwhelming sense of limitation for who I am as a person, as a business owner, and as an entrepreneur, and as a creative, creator. And I'm thinking, wait a second, some of just the politics alone, like, are limiting in a way. And I'm like, this, but they don't see that. They don't feel that way. They don't live that way anyways. They're thinking of the mountains and the food and the wonderful culture and how they could just easily pick up a job over there and live life. I'm like, yeah, I guess if I wanted to just pick up a job. But see, I look at everything as so full of possibilities that in a place there where socialism and other factors kind of limit what you do financially, I'm thinking, man, I'm grateful for America, like, in all of its problems. Like, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to, so anyways, the way that gratitude can help you reach for the stars is to not just be grateful for what you have, because that can be taken at any moment. Your loved one, your job, your business can come crashing down tomorrow. I mean, you just don't know.
Your health.
Yeah, your health. Not to just be grateful for what you have. And if you're not grateful for what you have, like, we'll address that in a minute, but to also be grateful for what you perceive the opportunities are. And to perceive opportunities, limitless ones, is something I think I'll forever be grateful for. It's just how my mind works.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let me do a little play on words. Connecting grateful to greatness. I know that, there's some connection with the root, but this is just a play on words, okay? That greatness and gratitude, greatness and grateful, there's a powerful connection. So, true greatness is going to be rooted in gratitude. When you express that gratitude, you're recognizing that your performance, your commitment, your effort, your intention is not only the result of your effort, not only the result of what you've done, but it's also the result of something greater than you. That there's a power greater than you that's aligned with your commitment, that's aligned with your intention, that's aligned with your effort, and has made things greater than what you could have even perceived as possible. And so when I think of somebody who's truly great, gratitude is an essential element of that, because they're recognizing that in spite of their commitment, in spite of their intention, that there is a force and there is a cause greater than themselves that aided them in their commitment, aided them in their intention and what they were able to create.
Yeah, I love it. So this begs the question, guys. For those of you listening out there and you're starting to understand gratitude in a different way, how and why are people not grateful? Right? So that begs the question, how and why are you not grateful? There's going to be some pitfalls to gratitude. And there's probably 3 big ones that we'll talk about. And there's more. But why isn't it so that in your life you can experience gratitude? Let's call you out on this. Like, let's talk about it. If you're struggling with this principle of gratitude and you don't really feel like it's a way of being for you, that it's a part of who you are, again, a lot more than just the noun version here. We're talking about you demonstrating gratitude in your life as natural as you can breathe. If you don't feel that way, then let's talk about it. There's 3 at least huge reasons. And one of them we kind of addressed already, and that was being awake.
Yeah. Yeah, ingratitude is you're unaware. You're unaware to the possibilities around you. You're unaware of this cause greater than yourself that's around you. You're just asleep to possibilities.
Yeah, so
you're asleep to being present. You're asleep to these principles of creation.
Yeah, not waking up.
Yep.
Yeah. So wake up and see what's going on there. And here's two more that are a little bit deep. And one is you're experiencing self-pity. So you're feeling sorry for yourself. Okay? You're feeling a little bit like a victim in your life, that whatever challenge you're having is really tough. And that challenge could be you're looking for a job, or that challenge can be you're not sure what you're going to do when you grow up. That challenge can be your marriage. That challenge can be that your business is really struggling, or whatever the challenge is. You've got kids with health issues. You've lost a loved one recently. Mm-hmm. Like if you find it difficult to experience gratitude in your life, just check real quick and see if you're also having a little pity party. In other words, your self-pity is a huge killer of gratitude.
Now, I'm going to correct you on this, because if a person's asleep, they're not going to check themselves and see that. And so wake up and you will see that if you're not grateful in all circumstances, including these trials and struggles that Ben mentioned, you are ungrateful. Like you are a victim. You've become drugged to this victim mentality where you're just a zombie. So you've got to wake up, and you've got to see that if you're not grateful for your trials, then you are a victim.
Yeah. Yeah, so self-pity, excessive, self-absorbed unhappiness over one's own troubles. Excessive, self-absorbed unhappiness over one's own troubles. Well, that sounds like something I wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're experiencing ingratitude, right, and you're feeling like you're not that thankful, let's wake up and see if, one, you are having a pity party, all right? Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Your life isn't that bad. If you're still breathing and you still have air in your lungs, you can do something about this. Figure out your intention. Be clear on it. Let's understand what your commitments are. Start taking action towards that thing. And if need be, start at, like, step 0 here with gratitude and start writing things down on a daily basis that you're grateful for. But move quickly into, I want this to become who I am. And so rid yourself of things like self-pity.
Yeah.
Find opportunities to demonstrate that you're grateful for things. And that leads us to the next one.
Before we go to the next one, we've talked about an activity like keeping a gratitude journal as just the first step, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the first step to waking up to your victim mentality, the first step to waking up to this pity party that you might be throwing that you're not aware of, that you're asleep to, is make a list of the things you complain about. Like, what are the top 10 things that you complain about? Write them down. Like, put language to that and look at it and like you might be shocked. Like, man, I complain about that. You might find that the things that you complain about are actually things that most people would be grateful for. That's shocking.
Yeah, that
and
is.
Like, oh man, I'm complaining about that. Like, 95% of the world considers that a blessing. So, like, put language to your complaints, and that will wake you up to, oh man, that's like total victim mentality. Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, no, I freaking love that. That's amazing. Yeah. So listen, I know a lot of people who are super successful, but I don't know very many people who I could say, in fact, I can't think of anyone who I can say doesn't complain at all about something. So even those of you out there who feel like you've got gratitude kind of nailed down, like, I bet you if you ask your friends or family who's closest to you about anything that you complain about, that bothers you, then you're probing right now for different areas, different possible areas in your life where you're feeling self-pity, So, and again, no one's perfect. So that's why you want to do this. You want to go through this process. You want to identify these areas so you can start fixing them. You want to clean them out one by one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're wanting to leverage our power. We're wanting to leverage our possibilities and our results here. And
I agree.
Yeah.
One of my favorite mindsets is to take one thing, just one thing that you're not good at, and work on that one thing today, just so that it becomes a little bit better today than it was yesterday. So in the application or principle of gratitude, and we're finding things that we complain about, like make your list and pick one of those things on that list that you're complaining about, and try not complaining. Actually don't force yourself into this like mental straitjacket of I can't say what I'm thinking. Like just get to the point where you're actually grateful for that thing and you're not complaining about it anymore. This is a paradigm shift. This is a soul shift, so to speak. So that leads us to our next one. Here's the other reason that you're probably not experiencing gratitude. It's your pride. You're too proud. You're too proud to be grateful. Yeah, that stings a little, doesn't it? So, are you too proud? Right? Is your pride getting in the way? I mean, that means you're a jerk.
Well, we're all jerks.
I mean, look,
because we're all wrestling with pride.
In a lot of ways, if you can't be thankful for something because of pride, and this happens all the time, then like all the little things that are done for you, and you don't recognize them in your life, and you're not thankful for them. This could be from a spouse and the things that they do for you. This could be some of the things that your kids do for you that you don't think they're doing enough of. This could be your coworkers, your employer, all the little things that happen to you in your life that you're not thankful for because you don't think that they're that big a deal, or that you deserve them, and you're entitled to that. And so why should you be thankful? They're just doing what you deserve. All of that's tied to pride.
Yeah. I want to go back to that play on words that I discussed a few minutes ago, linking greatness and gratitude, greatness and being grateful. That, that recognition that there's something greater than yourself out there that's assisting you in your commitment, that's assisting you in your intention. That's, the antithesis of pride. Pride is really focused on me, and it's all me, all because of what I've done and what I do. Where that element of humility,
that's right,
that recognizes that when I'm committed, the universe rallies behind me, that brings in additional assistance to help me do what I'm doing in this world.
Yeah, so humility is the key, right? And so that is obviously the antithesis or the opposite of pride. Pride is a huge stumbling block for people in lots of areas of their life. Gratitude's just one of them as well. And so, find those things, find that pride in yourself, the bad kind of pride. We're not talking about the proud dad kind of thing where you're proud of your kid for doing something great at school. We're a proud mama or whatever. We're talking about the pride that you're just an arrogant,
self-centered arrogance
punk, and that kind of thing is that mindset, a proud mindset, is gonna limit your ability or your capacity to experience gratitude. Look, that's worth repeating. A proud or a prideful mindset is gonna limit your ability to experience gratitude, or your capacity to experience gratitude. So you want increased capacity for gratitude? The answer is yes. Everyone wants that. And if not, again, call us on the side. You've got some issues. So you're going to want an increased capacity for gratitude. Then here we go. Start with some humility. Start adding and inserting humility into your life, which is something that's going to take a paradigm shift. It takes some self-analysis, some self-awareness. This is another wake-up principle. Wake up, see where you're not grateful for something because you don't think it's that big a deal. Like or I deserve it, or I'm entitled to this. Why should I be grateful that so-and-so made me lunch? My wife doesn't make me lunch, by the way, but let's just say she did, and I wasn't grateful for it because I felt like I deserved it. What a jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pride. Like, so now my own flaw of pride is limiting my capacity to even experience gratitude. Remember, gratitude isn't something just to possess. It's something to experience. It's something to demonstrate. And my own junk now is getting in the way with it, right? My own issues, my own pride.
Yep.
So
yep, totally.
Yeah.
One of the most popular stories of gratitude comes from the New Testament.
I thought you said it wasn't a Sunday school lesson.
It's not a Sunday school lesson, but I am going to reference this story, okay? Because it's a common story that people know. It's the story of the 10 lepers, right?
Yeah, it's a fantastic example of gratitude.
It's going to teach these principles of gratitude as a way to leverage your performance.
So let's summarize the story, because I don't know that everybody goes to some sort of Sunday school out there.
Okay, so there's 10 guys that have leprosy, and leprosy is just a horrible disease at the time.
That's where your flesh falls off.
Yeah, just
fingers,
any
toes,
soft tissue, just
face.
It's painful, and in the day, it made you unclean, so that you couldn't have any social interaction. You're basically a social reject if you had leprosy.
That's right. You were shunned and looked very down upon.
So it was a physical, social, and emotional just death sentence.
Yeah, I don't think
right?
things have changed that much. I bet if somebody walked in the room with leprosy right now, people would probably still be that way on some level.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Could be, yeah. So the story goes that, Jesus heals all 10 of their leprosy. And one of the lepers comes back to Jesus and expresses his gratitude. And Jesus' response is, were there not 10? I thought there's 10. But
where's the other 9?
Where are the other 9? Yeah. So the question is were those 9 ungrateful? Is it possible to be grateful and not express gratitude?
No.
Potentially.
What level of gratitude are we talking about?
So just saying you're grateful is a level of gratitude. Expressing gratitude like this, but we've talked about more than that. We've talked about gratitude as a way of being. Gratitude is a natural expression. And were they just so excited that they forgot to, it's hard.
No one knows because we weren't there, right? Yeah.
And we don't have it's all white space, right? We don't know the details of it other than what we've just shared.
That is a powerful principle, though. He said, weren't there 10? Where's the other 9? In other words, I think the implication there that I take from that story is there is a higher level of gratitude. Maybe those 9 people had some gratitude, but on the noun level,
yeah,
they could eventually write down a list someday in their lives that they were grateful they were healed of leprosy, but they certainly didn't express that gratitude for whatever reason. Whether they were excited, whether they were busy and had to get somewhere, who knows? But the one
partying with their family because they haven't been able to have healthy physical touch for how many years?
Yeah, but still, that's how we are, right?
Yeah.
Like we can write things down on a list and be grateful for them, but do we demonstrate it in our lives? Do we express it? Do we demonstrate it? Is it a part of who we are? And in that story, to me, only one person was that way.
Yeah, that higher level.
That's the gratitude that you want. Because the implication is I think people can make very good arguments that the other 9 weren't grateful. But they can't prove that. You can't prove that they were grateful, and you can't prove that they weren't. But what you can prove is that one was.
Yeah, at a higher level. Beautiful. Jesus' answer after that also teaches a lesson that can help us see gratitude as a principle of power to leverage our influence. He said, your faith has made you whole. Your faith, linking gratitude and faith. So gratitude accentuates your faith. Gratitude is an expression of your faith. Going back to that grateful and greatness play on words that I talked about earlier, recognizing that there is a cause greater than yourself, and that when you demonstrate faith as a principle of action and demonstrate faith as a principle of power, you get results. And he had some results. Your faith has made you whole. That word whole is the definition of integrity. Integrity in its
being whole
purest definition is being whole and complete. Like an integer is a whole number. Okay, so your faith has made you a person of integrity. Your gratitude has made you a person of integrity, is how I would retranslate that in the vernacular of these principles of power that we discuss frequently. Your gratitude has made you a person of integrity.
Yeah, and that gratitude, just one more plug for this, was identified in just that one leper, and it was identified because he took action. Yeah. There was a verb associated with his gratitude. It was a way of being for him, and that made him a person of integrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So integrity is one of those things. Again, a huge podcast or two out there as well that we did on integrity is definitely worth listening to. But integrity is one of those principles that's going to tie in here and magnify and amplify your capacity for gratitude, and it's going to go swing both ways. That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. So in your business lives, gratitude for your coworkers, gratitude for your employer, gratitude for your employees, gratitude for your assignments, gratitude for the fact that you still get a paycheck or whatever it is. If you're a business owner, gratitude for the fact that you're out there trying to build an empire, whether you're making money or not right now, right? Like not the self-pity version. So, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, harness this gratitude, make it become a part of who you are, and watch whatever you're focused on grow, right? Yeah. Watch the relationships that you have with your coworkers, employers, employee bosses, whatever, all strengthen. Your capacity to grow will be increased in not just gratitude, but in just business. So you'll start to feel and see and recognize things grow. You will be a magnet. People don't like to be around pity party, proud idiots.
Mm-hmm.
But humble, grateful people are magnets for just titans.
Yeah, that's the level 5 leadership that Jim Collins talks about in Good to Great. That you are an incredible leader that has that element of humility, that long after you've left that organization, long after you've left that, your influence and force continues because of your way of being, that humble, grateful way of being that you were. And so you brought up a couple scenarios. You bring up an employee. So bringing back some applications we discussed earlier. If you're an employee at work, like make a list of the things that you complain about at work. You know, what are your top 10 complaints about your job? And look for the opportunity to be grateful about each one of those things and find massive action to take in each one of those elements. And then you will become a person of gratitude. You'll be able to create instead of complain. When you complain, you're just restricting your possibilities. And when you're grateful, you just open up all those many possibilities.
And to all my employees who are listening to this podcast, I want to see your list. I want to see.
My boss is a jerk.
I want to see your list of things that you complain about. Bring it in before the end of the day, please. Let's have a chat.
Love it. You know, a dinosaur in the business world, Ben, is the handwritten thank you note.
Dinosaur meaning?
It's pretty much extinct.
But shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
A handwritten thank you note, because it's so rare now, like really goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like you went out of your way to buy a thank you card.
That's right.
You hand wrote it. Like who hand writes anything these days?
Yeah.
And delivered it. Like that's something that's really unique and special, and it's an expression of gratitude that goes above and beyond what the normal email, hey, thanks for all you do.
Yeah, no, handwritten for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna implement that a little bit more. I'm gonna stand up in the upstairs of the office and write handwritten notes and crunch them up and just start throwing them at people to see. No, I shouldn't joke about it. Handwritten notes are really important. In fact, today our office opened up a little early because it's paralegal day, and so for the paralegals at my couple different law firms, like we're gonna celebrate the fact that it's paralegal day. And so my other staff has been working for the last week or so getting things ready. And they came in early so that they can make sure that the different gift baskets or whatnot are arranged appropriately. But a part of that is a handwritten note that all of us have written on and signed. And so it's just, it is huge, you know, to be grateful for people, to be grateful for things. You know, that's where it's at. Let's review some of the things that you should be doing. One, base level is to write a list of things that you're grateful for. I mean, that can help you start to be self-aware.
Don't stop there, though. That's just to wake you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't stop there. That is the first step of many, and that's just to wake up. But it is a helpful thing to narrow your focus a little bit and to start identifying things in your life that you can be grateful for, so that you can stop, you know, some of these other things that prevent you from being grateful. So at least start waking up to it. And then when you're awake, start identifying some of the bigger pitfalls of gratitude that you're probably experiencing, because no matter how amazing you are, there's most likely some things in your life that you complain about. So the self-pity party that you're having, right? You're absorbed in your own woes. You know, you're a little bit of a victim in this particular issue. Maybe not in others. You might be a titan of a titan, you know, in some other issue in your life. But in some issue, you're going to be a complainer, and you're going to be, you know, feeling pretty sucky about it all, and like you're a victim. The other one is pride. Go through that and find out where your pride is getting in the way. I mean, like really, like you can't be grateful because, you know, you think that you're entitled to this, or you deserve this, or that's whatever that person is doing or has done for you, or whoever that person is to you isn't that big a deal. Like, it's not that big a deal. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. You deserve this. I mean, come on. Like this especially applies to employers towards employees. This especially applies from employees towards employers. This especially applies between spouses. I mean, come on, guys. Like really? You can't be grateful? Like, I get that there's hard times and conflict in all of those relationships we identified, but you can't be grateful for that person? Then check your pride.
Yeah, totally. Brother, I'm grateful for you. You inspire me. You inspire me to want to be better tomorrow than I am today. So thank you for who you are and your way of being.
You're welcome. Can you hear this, guys? I'm writing a note. I'm not gonna let you get the last word. And true to my previous theory, I'm gonna crumble this up. I'm gonna chuck it at you.
Ow!
And it totally hit the microphone. It was perfect.
Perfect.
Couldn't have planned that better.
All right. Have a grateful week.
Be good, guys.
Be great.
See ya. Yeah, be grateful.
Thanks for listening to the Principles of Epic Growth podcast, your path to epic performance and life with incredible growth.